Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Tamiya, and this time it comes in a 1/72nd scale. So this is a model which I did not review in 1/48 scale. As you can see, it's a F-35A Lightning II from Lockheed Martin, obviously, and it's a kit number 92 from 1/72nd scale Warboard collection. So here we have the final shape of this release. It was purchased with your help, with help of your donations, so I would like to say thank you. And of course you'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review, because that's the final shape of this model kit. So first of all, you can notice that the box size is noticeably smaller than 1/48 scale counterpart. Here is comparison with my hand. Also the price is smaller by 2 times, so it might be a good choice in case you would like to preserve your money and also the space on your shelf. It will not take a lot of it. And also I like the box art here. It's really nice. It's actual painting as usual, and it would be cool to get this one as a poster to hang on the wall. Next, here on the side you can see one of the marking options. Why I'm saying one of the marking options? Because I hope that there will be more, and for this aircraft I know there are not that many camouflages, but still it would be cool to get several of those. So here we have the small hint that there will be 2 marking options included. Of course we will check them once we will be taking a look through the assembly manual. This is a top opening box, and here is what we have inside. So the overall packaging is not that tight, but still, as you can see, all parts are lying in a proper arrangement. And on the top we had the fuselage house, so I would like to start with them. And as usual for Tamiya, they are closed with paper clips or staples. And what I'm doing now is using the debonder in order to open it and take a closer look at this part. But from what I can see, we have pretty much the same parts division as in 1/48 scale. I'm not that happy to see the nose cone, but I think we will talk about it a bit later. And first here we get the lower fuselage half, which comes as a single piece part, as you can see here. Let's zoom in a bit. Okay, now you should be able to see what I'm talking about. So this light gray plastic looks really nice. We have good external features. These are recessed panel lines and all of these special layers of the panels. So here I will zoom in and maybe let's open the lenses a bit so that it will be better visible for you. But overall quality looks fine. We have a lot of attachment points, as you can notice, and I wonder how the wing alignment will be made here, because we have also the top section or top half of the wing on the top fuselage section. So I will open the plastic bag with that part right now and we will take a closer look. But again, from what we are getting out of the box, it looks quite decent. We have the hatches, as you can see, those lower hatches that are molded shut, so you won't be able to open them. And as far as I remember, a lot of modelers were actually complaining on that, because that's quite a shame to, let's say, miss that feature. But that's something what you get here. And as you might have seen, we had the guiding pins inside. Okay, next we continue with the sprue G. This one is actually dedicated to the top fuselage section, and as you can see here we get the nose cone pre-molded. And frankly speaking, I'm not sure why such design was chosen, because it would be better to have it as a single piece part, which would look more realistic, and of course you won't have any unnecessary seams and gaps. But well, we get it here like that, and you'll have to work around, because otherwise you might end up with a problem on a really visible spot here. And again, here we have the top wing section, as you can see, pre-molded with a fuselage, and maybe it would be worth zooming in so that you can see what I'm talking about. And once we flip it over, here inside we have also some guiding elements. And again, here we also have, I guess, those are strengthening lines which will ensure the overall rigidity, or maybe placement of some internal components, because as you can see we have some guiding elements here as well. And note, for the nose cone here we have also some guiding pins, so well, you have some things which will help you during the assembly, but this is still not something what I would be happy to see in 2023. Next, we continue with another set of sprues, because those are basically two sprues connected together, D and C. So here we have the air intake ducts and also the engine nozzle. So as you can see, it looks quite good. It is molded as a single piece part, so quite a nice thing. But again, seeing this item, I wonder why the nose cone was not molded as a single piece part. Again, here we also have the canopy framing. It's single piece part, very tender, and still we do not get a one piece nose cone. So here you can take a closer look at this engine fans. Also we have the air ducts, also those parts around the engine nozzle, and maybe if we flip it over, here we have the cockpit tab. So it looks quite decent, I would say, for 1/72 scale. I have no doubt that we will see some aftermarket as well, which will introduce more features. For example, Edward will come up with P parts for sure. And here we have the tail wings, so as you can see, the lower section will be actually inserted into these special cutouts. So it will be repeating the panel lines. Quite a smart design and good to have, because it will provide you with a realistic appearance on your model. Next, we have another sprue. This one is dedicated to the, well, plastic bag, which is dedicated to the clear sprue. And for the clear sprue, well, F-35 is a quite tricky subject in this sense, because a lot of modelers still argue about the tint of the canopy. So here, if I zoom in, you can see that we get the clear canopy, so you will be free to cover it in whatever color you would prefer, or just leave in the clear canopy. So that's actually a smart solution, because it gives you a freedom of a choice. And I'm not sure if we will... Oh, okay, I see them already through the plastic bags. So now I can say that we actually get the masks in the standard package, because usually 1/72 scale releases from Tamiya are not that generous in bonuses, let's say. Only 1/48 scale kits were getting the masks. Next we continue with the sprue E. I just opened it, and here we get another small surprise from Tamiya, because well, in the previous releases we saw that they were trying to sell the armament sets as a separate product. Here we get some missiles as a part of the standard package, so that's definitely an improvement. And of course, for this price it's a must-have, because otherwise it would be really weird to see such design out of the box. Now I'm a bit surprised, because I get the... well, the last pair of sprues is sealed in the plastic bag, so I'm going to cut through it. It's not staples, it's actually a sealed plastic bag, so just give me a moment. And it's a slightly different plastic bag. It's not the one which is let's say soft. It's also not that transparent, I would say, kind of matte transparent bag. So here you can see what I'm talking about. Maybe it would be worth to place the sprue like that, because they're separate sprues. So here we have some parts for the pilot seat. Also, I guess those are the parts for the main wheel wells, and those as well. And if we flip it over like that, here we continue with the lower nose section, which is molded together with the nose, landing gear, wheel well, and also tail wings as well, which are designed in the same way as the... well, those are tail fins, so they are designed in the same way as the tail wings. And just to give you a closer look at the nose section, so here it is. Maybe let's open the lenses even more, so that you can see all of those features. The same applies to the tail fins. They look quite decent. We have all of the panel lines copied here, and this smart design with another half being inserted via panel lines, it's really cool, because it will help you to keep the overall appearance clean. And just to give you a quick look at the main wheel well section, so we have some nice details pre-molded. So it's a question of picking them out, and maybe it would be a wise idea to get some mirror stand which will actually show all of those details underneath your aircraft, because otherwise they will be just lost. Next we have the assembly manual. So here we get another nice surprise, because the assembly manual is actually printed in color in form of this large poster, so it might be something to place on your wall instead of the box art image. Also quite nice looking thing. Okay, so let's move this sprue aside. Next we continue with the mask sheet, which is packed together with decals, and here we get quite an interesting thing. Well, it's the first time I see such packaging from Tamiya, and I see that it was done on the last steps, because, well, it arrived just like this. We have the decal sheet from one side of the plastic bag, and here we have the masks, and as you can see, if I flip it over, it's actually one plastic bag. So I wonder why it was decided like this. Not that I am complaining about that, because it's really great bonus. And on the opposite end there is actually the paper clip, which I will remove right now, and it will be actually faster opening than just the sealed plastic bag. Okay, so for the decal, what we get here, it's not mentioned where it is printed, but we get all of the necessary symbols for this aircraft, as you can guess. And if I close the lenses, zoom in a bit, so here you can see what we are talking about. We have also some segmentation, which is also, I would say, something new for Tamiya. I don't remember such feature before. We also get some cockpit decals. Even the seat belts are included in form of decals, so it might be enough for some simple out-of-the-box build, in case you are satisfied or okay with such things in your model. Then why not? This way you will also save some money. And again, printing quality is, I would say, typical for Tamiya, so there are no unpleasant surprises. And you saw the masks. Masks are not pre-cut, so in case you would like to get a nice paint work, you will have to cut them with a sharp knife. I will show them in a second, because it's also quite useful and also nice addition to this kit because of the complex shaped canopy. Obviously, well, modern aircraft, it's something where you better off using the special aftermarket masks. Next we continue with the tips. So these are so-called tech tips, and here you can get some info on how to assemble the model in case you are just starting, so why not? This might be a good learning material. Next we continue with the background information. So this one is already printed in a black and white, but well, it doesn't matter because we get the marking guide in color at least, and of course you can find the photos by yourself, but still it's a nice thing to read if you don't know the full history of the F-35. Next we continue with assembly manual. So this one comes in a black and white brochure format as well, so it's not that huge. I would say it's a standard layout for Tamiya. On the first page we have some safety devices, and then straight away we go for the assembly. So assembly starts with the upper fuselage section. Here, as you can see, you have also to erase some of the attachment points, and we also install the engine nozzle covers. Here we continue with the cockpit. So cockpit is really detailed. As you can see, a lot of parts are actually going there. Next we continue with the nose landing gear bay, and then we start working on the air intakes. So as you remember, for air intakes we had the separate panels, so it will be also quite fun. And next we have also the main landing gear assembly. Here we have some of the assembly options. Oh, so you can place some external equipment on the wing pylons, which is quite unusual for F-35 in my opinion. Next we continue with more modification to the lower hull section, and here we install the main landing gear wheel well into the place, and then we join fuselage sections together. Then the nozzle starts to be assembled. That's also another thing which might be replaced with the resin aftermarket. I'm sure we will see some sets for that. Next we continue with the main landing gear, and here we install it into the space designated for that. Obviously, landing gear covers, also landing gear leg, and for the nose. And why I'm a bit confused, because I'm looking that you can actually assemble it in the closed position, and I guess the same applies to the main landing gear, so you can actually copy the aircraft in flight. Next, we continue with more panels getting here and there. Here we have, for example, flaperons, and also horizontal stabilizers, and here we work on the pylons and missiles which are getting into the spot. It will depend on the loadout scheme you will choose. Next we continue with the vertical stabilizers, pilot seat, and yes, pilot seat is getting into the place on the last steps. Here you can see also some of the painting advices for the pilot figurine, which is included as you remember. And then we continue with the instrument panel, which is installed together with the combing. Here we have the tech tip for the canopy, because, well, basically you can try to paint also the framing separately. And as you can see, framing is still, well, you still need the masking because framing is painted into the interior color as far as I remember. And then it gets united with this clear part. So overall, it looks like an interesting kit. Of course, some of the modders were complaining that the price tag for 1/72 scale is quite high. You also get an offering from Italy, which some of the modders actually consider as decent. So it's your choice whether you are, let's say, okay with spending a bit more, getting the closed hatches in the fuselage, and also getting some interesting assembly options in form of the loadout. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye. Oh, by the way, note that the fuselage length will be more than the wingspan, so fuselage will be 218 millimeters and wingspan will be 148 millimeters.